Welcome to Truth, Money, and Freedom. Today is Tuesday, November 12th, 2019. Hey, gang, I thought I'd treat you to a little bit different scenery during the podcast this evening. This is camera footage from yesterday. We had a little bit of an ice storm here, and this was about that clock, I don't think is correct. It wasn't 2:36, it was like 1:36, is like an hour off. And then I had a dentist appointment to get a permanent crown put in. And so I go to the dentist's office, and it's pretty bad driving. And driving home was even worse. But at any rate, for those of you who have never been in an ice storm before, this is technically an ice storm, even though it was a light ice storm. Now, I've slowed the video down to half speed so you can see it a little bit better. But that's not snow falling. That's literally little balls of ice, as you can see on the handrail there. Now, this is a camera that I had put on my back deck, one of those action cameras, and that is exactly due north in the center of that picture from my house. So, but at any rate, while that's going on, I have other things I want to talk about while you enjoy the scenery. And the first thing is basically Trump is, and by the way, this is not a bash Trump video. This is not what this is about. This is about a move by the Trump administration to reauthorize parts of the USA Freedom Act, and apparently in a bid to stop lone wolf terrorists. Now, the only problem is that he wants them permanently established. So what does that mean for you and me? Let me tell you, I'm going to actually read from an article. By the way, I'll link everything below, even though you can't see it right now. The Trump administration pleaded with lawmakers Wednesday to reauthorize key provisions of the USA Freedom Act used by intelligence officials to nab suspected terrorists. 4 provisions under the 2015 law are set to expire unless reauthorized by December 15th, and intelligence officials say they will be useful, especially in the future as technology advances to catch lone wolves. And then in quotes, the way terrorists communicate and the way technology evolves is not out of the realm of possibility. Certainly, to say that we might find a new technology out there that we may not have been considered or thought of, that might be used by terrorists, says Susan Morgan, the National Security Agency. Here's the problem, gang. So Trump is asking Congress to permanently instate that snooping program that spies on all Americans. Permanently. Now, if you're going to have a bill like this that actually monitors the electronic communications of all Americans, and in fact, I think it's more than Americans, I think it's everyone in the world, that's another story. But to permanently establish this is something that is, for anyone who is freedom thinking, freedom minding, you should be very upset about this. And I'm really, really getting upset with these actions by Congress, by the president, to continue stripping away our Fourth Amendment freedoms. Now, this goes directly against the Fourth Amendment, the right to privacy. So, of course, you have arguments from both sides, and believe me, I'm very familiar with the arguments on both sides. The arguments on both sides saying, we have to do this. This is how we can actually ferret out, wrongdoers, evildoers, terrorists, what have you. Then you have the other side of it saying, hey, listen, I didn't do anything wrong, yet my rights are being violated. My emails are being, captured and read. My telephone metadata information, every phone call I make is being recorded and stored, to who I made it to and what time it was, information like that. The searches you do on your computer on the internet or on your phone, everything you do on your phone, is being captured. And it's virtually true with computer systems as well, just plain Jane computers. This is definitely a violation of the Fourth Amendment. It has been since day one. This is part of the Electronic Surveillance Act. This is an extension of the Electronic Surveillance Act. But rather than, getting all up in arms and taking off your MAGA hats and stamping on them on the ground, there is actually a petition you can sign that was actually sent forth by Dr. Ron Paul, or Representative Ron Paul. I'm sure many of you remember him. I will link that down below. Stop the Surveillance State. Petition to my U.S. Representative and Senators. I'm writing to insist that you oppose reauthorization of the so-called USA Freedom Act that's set to expire this year. The fact is, the unconstitutional domestic spying programs it authorizes should never have been saved in the first place after the original phony Patriot Act provisions expired in 2015. And that's the Electronic Surveillance Act I was talking about. Therefore, as your constituent, I urge you to oppose any reauthorization of misnamed USA Freedom Act. And then if there's a little bit more to it than that. I will link this petition below. It'll be the top link, but I'll also link stories that were provided to me by Jimmy. And Jimmy, you know who you are. And I want to say thank you very much for helping me out. Also, thank you to David. So that we can, at the very least, go ahead and let them know that we don't appreciate this program. It's important, man. It's important. This isn't a guy who says our first option is to take our guns and go kill politicians. This is a guy saying that we need to work within the framework that we have, as long as we possibly can. And this is working within the framework. I'm going to recommend that everyone who listens to Truth, Money, and Freedom podcast to please consider filling out this petition. And please, and I'm begging you, please share this. Share it far and wide. Let's get this petition. Let's blow it up. Let's get a lot of people, signing this petition. Let's get rid of the Electronic Surveillance Act. Can it be done? It's possible. We'll try it this way. We'll see what we can do. Let's not give up. Let's not, just fall over. Let this happen. Because, we're basically saying, well, our voices are never heard anyway. They never do what we say anyway. Let's not be that way. Let's actually try and make an attempt here, gang. Just like I am attempting to make an effort in my state on basically getting rid of federal gun regulations. I'm not going to roll over and just give up. I'm going to continue fighting this thing as long as I can. And, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but at least I will have tried. I hate to think about what the next level is. I know most of you hate to think about what the next level is. We have got to keep our freedoms, gang. We can't just garage sale them away because we're too busy watching television, because our favorite show is on. We're going to go ahead and give up our freedom? No. We're not doing that. So let's all get a little bit active and fill out this petition. It'll take literally just a few seconds of your time. You'll see when you click on it below. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Truth, Money, and Freedom. When you do, every single time you do, it is very much appreciated. Loving the comments. Thank you for all the likes. Please share the important videos. The ones that have important information that other people should know about. This is one of them. And I'm sorry, about the scenery thing. I thought I would just make it kind of interesting for you guys. For those of you who have never been in an ice storm before. That is a very minimal, minor ice storm, though, but it did make the streets absolutely treacherous. Absolutely very, very difficult to drive yesterday. But the nice thing was everyone was going nice and slow. So that made it much safer for everybody. It's if 30 miles an hour was about the fastest anyone went yesterday, because those roads were sheer ice. Okay, gang, that's all I have for you for now. Thanks again for watching Truth, Money, and Freedom. I know your time is valuable. You could be watching any number of other podcasts. So when you guys actually listen to what we have to say, we deeply appreciate it. And once again, thank you for stopping by. Have a wonderful day. May God bless you all.